Hey guys, so I have an idea for a Valentine's Day dress, Valentine's Day dinner date dress that I want to go ahead and create in, just a couple days or less. So I found this fabric at the local secondhand craft store. It's a poly chiffon. It's a dark chocolate brown with a little polka dot on it. And I basically want to create like a cowl neck midi dress with a yoke at the hip and then some gathering around the thigh. So let's see how it works out. I'm going to create this pattern and I'm going to kind of take this as the proto and not line it and just try to get the pattern down and hope that it's good enough to wear out for dinner. And then I'll have the pattern to create hopefully something more fun in the near future. So I'm just draping out what I want here. So I want this kind of heavy cowl, and then I want the dress to go into a tighter skirt through the hips. So something sort of like this. And everything needs to be cut on bias. Okay, I'm gonna start drafting this out a bit. So it's kind of hard to tell right now. I just used some blocks that I had before for the skirt yoke, and I created a center front line for both the front and back. And basically I'm gonna have the center front line and I'm gonna start working on the design onto the right side, since I know that I'm gonna have everything on the fold. I'm also gonna have the cowl on the fold, but I'll do that later when I basically mirror the pattern up. So I'm not gonna cut it on the fold necessarily, but I'm going to draft it onto the fold. So from the waist point to the cowl edge is 30 centimeters. So I need to take into consideration the waistband height, and then I need to from there go up 30 centimeters. Now the neckline that I want is 40 centimeters. So once I bring this up 30 centimeters, then I'm going to do 20 centimeters out, because 40 centimeters on the hole. Now I'm gonna have to create an armhole. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a measurement of what I want here. This is all very rough. I have an old bed sheet I think I might actually cut into. That's 17. The front armhole will be 17, and then everything will go straight down and into the waistband. Okay, so the waistband that I originally had was about 1 inch. Okay, great. This measuring tape does not have centimeters. Front looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this into some like old bed sheet or something just to kind of feel it out, and I can drape it again. Now for the back, honestly, I'm kind of just still designing this. I don't know what I want to do. So I could make the back similar to the front, where I have like a cowl that kind of goes between straps. That would mean that the armhole would come more up here like that, and then cowl down. I don't know, is it cute? Or do I just want like a regular back here? Maybe I should just go with what I originally thought and just doing this like cowl back situation. a quick and dirty pattern. Let's see how this works out. Pretty exciting. I love doing things kind of quick and fast sometimes and see how it works out. Sometimes you can learn so much from doing things this way. Look at this insanely fun fabric I just found. So this is a silk. Oh, I feel bad making a proto in silk. Is that crazy? I don't know, because like, what if I like this? I kind of want to make the dress in this. What if the dress is in this on the top and then the bottom can be, I don't know, whatever this is. So maybe I'm just gonna go find an old bed sheet. Okay. Okay, I found an old bed sheet. It's actually not even my old bed sheet. It's a friend's old bed sheet who's getting rid of it. And I was like, you know what? I can't say no to free fabric sometimes, which is why I have so much fabric. So I need to make sure that this is being cut on the bias, on the fold. That's not bias. This is bias. Oh, this is super confusing. Okay. Here's the bias. Right? Yes. You get this little and we should be good to go. Just go for it. The base for my dress form is broken right now, so I must resort to putting her on chairs and weird places for now until I figure out really how to repair it. So the only changes I want to make is that this right here is a little scandalous. Even though this is going to be on a fold, I think I just need a little bit more coverage here. So I'm going to raise this by 5 centimeters. Since this edge is going to be on the fold, I need to raise this 5 centimeters as well. So I'm just curious what happens if it was to raise 5 centimeters and I'm to give this a little bit more ease right here. So assuming that this goes up to this point, I think it's going to be okay, actually. I think that's going to be actually quite great. It'll be like that. It'll just be a little bit more coverage on the front here and a little bit higher on the shoulder. Cool. I'm going to do the armholes on a turn back. I'm going to do the neckline on a fold. I'm going to serge the side seam on one side. I'm going to zipper this side seam, and then I'm going to add the skirt in. So yeah, let me go ahead and start working on that. So I sewed up the top of this dress and realized that I'm so happy I did that, because as much as I thought my measurements were the same, something about draping, just you get a little bit more understanding on body. So I need to make some fit adjustments and some reshaping adjustments just to make things a little bit like nicer and neater. And then I need to go ahead and cut into the actual fabric. Also, something really fun to note is that I will not be needing a zipper since this is cut on bias, and this fabric has a little bit of stretch, but on bias this fabric has even a little bit more, maybe about the same, that I will be able to get this off without a zipper at all. Very exciting. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the front and back pattern pieces. I added the fold over so the neck will be on a fold for the cowl section here. And I trued everything up so the side seams will match, and I made all the adjustments needed from the toile that I did earlier. So now I can go ahead and cut into the fabric. So since it's on bias, I just have to cut everything at a 45-degree angle to ensure I get that extra little stretch, the mechanical stretch that'll come from the bias cut. I'm gonna do the top bias cut, and then on the bottom, I'm actually gonna do it on straight cut. I think it's gonna look kind of cool with the pattern going in two different directions, but I don't think I have enough fabric to cut the skirt on bias. If I do, I will. I just might have to do it in sections, which I would rather not do, but I'll just have to kind of lay it all out and see how it works. So I'm just sewing up the side seam of the skirt so I can go ahead and attach the skirt to the bodice. So my plan right now is to go ahead and sew 2 lines of basting onto the top edge of the skirt, and then I'll use that to basically pull just the right amount of shirring so I can attach the shirred skirt to the bodice. So I'll swap to the longest stitch. So before I start making the basting stitches, I'll pull out a little bit of extra thread. So when I go to pull the shirring, I have a little bit of extra thread to pull from. Let's see, I'll do the first one at 5/8 of an inch. And once I get to the end of the stitch here, I'm just gonna raise the needle, pull the presser foot up, and then pull a bunch of thread. Just so I have a little bit of extra to play with, just in case. So last night I was able to attach the skirt onto the bodice, and I did a little test fit and everything fits super well. So now what's next to do is I need to finalize the French seams on the side seams, and then I can go ahead and work on the armhole. I got this, it's like a Cupro rolled strap. I got it off a sample at work. The sample was being tossed. I'm not actually taking anything from the office. When we fit garments, we will cut sleeves off and cut hems off or take ties off, and this is gonna get thrown away anyway. So I just decided to keep it, and I'm gonna use it as the tie straps since it matches perfectly to the dark brown. So yeah, let's go ahead and work on that. I'm just French seaming the hip seam where the shirred skirt meets the bodice. It's a very slow process. I'm trying to be as accurate as possible here so I don't accidentally gather any of the bodice. So I just ran this little test to see how I want to attach the skirt to the bodice. So right here, I've attached what would be the skirt and the bodice, and I've French seamed it on the back. On this side here, it's really hard to tell, but I've set a top stitch on the bodice, and on this side, it's just the seam is just free. So I'm trying to tell which one looks better. And I think the top stitch looks a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit more stiff along the seam, but the ruffles or the shirring definitely sits flatter. Good girl. Good girl. This is my little Valentine. You're such a good girl. So the dress is fully completed. So I ended up adding a slit to the side seam, but I think I may have taken the dress hem just a little bit shorter than I wanted to. But let me know what you think. So here's a little rundown of this dress. I used a polyester chiffon georgette that I got secondhand from a secondhand craft store that I go to pretty often. I created a bias cut bodice with a cowl neck in the front and a cowl neck in the back. Now the cowl is on a fold, so the fabric folds on itself down underneath, kind of towards the underbust, which gives it this very like drapey look in the front neck here. A turn back on the armholes. I French seamed the side seams. The slit opening is a turn back. The hem is a turn back. And I think it turned out pretty great. I feel pretty comfortable in this. Also with how I did the straps, where they connect to the back neck, really holds the straps on so they're not kind of going everywhere. Next time I use this fabric though, I feel like I didn't really understand or lock in the perfect tension until much later in this process. The hem was the last thing I did, and it looks phenomenal. I learned that I really needed to stretch and really force the fabric through the machine instead of letting the presser foot do what it wanted to. So that was a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm still just so excited with how this turned out. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you very soon for a super fun and easy little video. Bye!